Hi, this is Paul. I don't know if you've seen what I've done so far, but I have an E-Type and it's a project, and what I'm doing is I'm re-leathering the interior. Well, I'm now re-leathering the interior. I wasn't hoping to have ordered what's in this box when I first started. I grew up with old Jaguars, and what I really kind of got used to and got to really like was the smell of old Jaguar leather. And so I took the seats out and I gave them a really good clean, and then I moisturised them, wrapped them in cling film, got the seats really supple, and then attacked it with some solvent and got all the old colour off because they've been painted, and they were really quite brittle, and it did quite a good job. And I got some new seat foams and bases, and I stretched the leather back over and I stapled it all the way back around, so it all fitted and looked really good. And then when it came to painting, I put all the various different primers on first, and I put the colour on. But the seats, I'll show you in a second, the seats are fluted in the centre. So the outside part of the seat is smooth, very easy. You've got piping around the outside of the seat, and then you've got fluted sections in the middle, which kind of fit together like that. Now, when you're spraying, you can't part those sections and then spray and leave it open. It doesn't, it closes, and then the paint that you've applied makes everything stick together. So although on the face of it, you think you've saved the leather and everything looks really good, the problem is now, as the paint dries, all the seat is stuck together and it just doesn't look right, so I scrapped it. And so I went to Aldridge Trimming, thanks Aldridge, and I've ordered the leather for the 2 seats and for the centre console. And today, it's a huge box, it's arrived. So I will be doing a video to show you what I'm doing it. I need to rebuild the seats, I need to rebuild the centre console. At the moment the car is completely stripped on the inside, all the boot floors out, I've taken all the chrome off, all the trims and everything. There are certain areas that I'm going to paint with my new airbrush and compressor, and those bits are bits around the windows, which I don't really want to take apart because it's all in good condition, it's just slightly the wrong colour. But I sent to the leather colour doctor a swatch of the leather for the colour of the seats here, and they have matched it for me in paint, so the whole thing will tie in nicely when it's done, hopefully. So, right, what do we have here? I really haven't opened this yet. So here we have, that looks like one seat base. No, that looks like all the leather. So that, this is Jaguar cream, and this area. That feels really quite soft and supple. Inside here, I don't know if you can see that, you've got these nice bit of foam. It's lovely, it's not perforating, but it's nice textured finish. Fabulous. Headrests. I'm getting excited now. So, headrest number 1, headrest number 2. Now I've also got some new foams for the headrest, so I'm going to put the foam in, this stretches around the foam, and then I've got the metal piece that fits inside it and slides down the back of the seat. That looks very much to me like the gear stick cover. So that's clearly going to need some fettling to get that in. I'm sure I'll learn that as I go. And lovely. I was hoping I was going to get these. And in here, where the headrest goes into the top of the seat, there's an elliptical hole, and there's a chrome trim. And I can see from when the seats have been painted last time that these have just been painted over. So I'm really pleased they are new. Fabulous. So good, pleased with that. And the seats. Now this is where I can show you the problem I have with the last seats. I'm going to move over here. So the textured area, when I had the old seat covers stretched over the seat, painting the flat area here was quite easy. Painting and getting the paint into the creases in there without gluing everything together was very difficult. And trying to paint between these creases without gluing these panels together was absolutely impossible. So now I've got some new leather. I really like the colour of that. And the colour I kind of thought I was going to go with was magnolia. But when I painted it in magnolia, it looked really yellow. And this just looks more beige. It looks more, got a little bit of ivory about it. And that's what it looks like underneath. You've got this really nice foam panel. That's the base of the seat. And here, which is potentially going to be a bit more technical to put on. So nope, that's another base of the seat. And here is the back of the seat. Luckily, having taken these off already, I know what these look like. Oh wow. That is going to look really cool. And that looks slightly over length, slightly oversized, which is brilliant. Because when that slides over the back of the frame of the seat, I'm going to have to pull that right round, and then on the back of the frame of the seat there's a piece of wood, and I've got a staple gun, and I'm going to staple it hard all the way down so that that's pulled taut. And of course underneath that, I'll just now move this out of the way, the part that gives you padding under here. Now I've already got the foam bases for the seat. The bit that gives you padding in here and makes the seat comfortable is here. And that looks a bit like colour cloth you've got a pan with. Clearly it's not. But if you've got sensitive skin, which I do, oh god, that feels really rubbery. That will go on the face of the seat, and that gives it some more padding and structure. Oh, I can see here, actually, I'll put that like that. That gives you extra structure, and that fits inside and in front of the frame. So yeah, that's going to take a bit of fiddling and a bit of fetching. Fab. Right. Ah, headrests. These are the headrests. Now, I want to see what those cameras look like. Over these headrests. The headrests I've got on the car, they're okay. They're not special. And this is going to give my seat a new lease of life. Now I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a steel pole and then a flat piece that goes in there, which gives it rigidity. And then you get this cover. I don't know if I'm going to do this just with one hand. No, I'm not going to do that. That's going to take heat and stretching to get that to fit over that. That's not going to happen with one hand. Cool, lovely. What's next? So we've got here. Now this is the lumbar support straps. So lumbar support straps. The seat is a steel frame. Goes around like that, and then at the bottom you've got lumbar support straps that hooks in both sides, and that's a really strong bit of rubber. The ones aren't damaged on the car at the moment, but if you're doing this, do it all. So that's going to fit roughly around the back here, and it's going to make that seat a bit more comfortable for me. Right, next. Centre console armrest foam. I've had the centre console out. The centre console is the bit which sits between the seats, There's a lift-up lid, and the lift-up lid has a padded top, and it is all kind of leather, and it's got piped leather down the side. The handbrake comes out from the side here as well, and then you've got in front the bit that houses the gear stick. So I've got to take off all the trim on that centre console, and then it's going to give me a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be quite thin pieces of. I know why. So, wow, that's a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be. Now that is going to be for the lid. So I would think it's going to be soft. It's going to be here. That's where your elbow goes, so the lid comes up and down. So that's going to be a real stretch for the leather to go over that. And then the actual console, when I've stripped it down, got all the leather off and all cushioning and everything else off, the first thing I need to do is to trim it and stick that onto it. So you have a metal frame, that'll be stuck to the metal frame, that'll be stuck on top of the lid, and then I'll stick the leather on over the top. And hopefully the leather is going to be the next thing that comes out of this box. This is going to keep me busy for a bit, I think. I don't want to get it all mixed up. This is like Santa. Oh wow, some weight here. Right, so this looks to me, that it's got to be, the trim kit for the centre console. Wow, I'm going to be learning something new here. It's one thing taking it apart, it's another thing trying to put it back together again with new parts. So that's what I'm going to be learning here. So this Saturday, I'll come in the garage. That's piping, so that fits all the way around the outside of the centre console. That sounds nice. That is inside out, and that will be the lid. Turn that the right way around. You can see that's what I'm going to follow. So that's the piping already on the lid, which is going to be in there with the foam backing on it, and then this piping here I've got to follow all the way around the actual structure of the centre console. This will be fun. And then the vinyl, various vinyl parts of the centre console. Wow. Okay, I'm going to have to be very organised here. So that is the centre console. I'm going to put that back in the bag in a minute. I think. Yes. That's pretty strange. These are the these are the sun visors. Now, I've ordered these sun visors because the sun visors I've got look to me like they have been retrimmed but not refinished. I'll explain why, I'll explain how in a second when I open them up. So yeah, this is exactly what I've got on the car. Actually, that does look better. Mine on the car at the moment. So this is a seam here that looks like that's been stitched or glued all the way around the outside. But that is actually a fair bit neater than I've got on the car. And that will match my headlining perfectly. New sun visors. And that is that. So this, over the next few weekends, is going into that garage and going to get fitted onto my E-Type. And I'm going to take some photos and take some videos as I go and show you my progress. Hope you find it interesting. Please follow if you're interested. Thank you for watching. I look forward to speaking to you soon.